What is going on, my petro powered dudes? Now, if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen the previous ZX6R videos, make sure to check out the first ride video. Make sure to check out the video on how this bike is to live with. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 600 class motorcycles. I have a ton of experience with smaller bikes like the 300, 400 class bikes you've seen on my channel. I have the R3, I had the R3, I had the RC390 cut bike, and of course I had my original RC390. Plenty of experience with that stuff. If you haven't checked out those videos, make sure to check them out. I have plenty of experience with leader bikes. You've seen plenty of those on the channel. The V4S, the V4R, the V2 is not really a leader bike, missing 50 cc's, but who cares? It's a leader bike in my opinion. So you've seen all these bikes, and one thing you have not seen on my channel as of yet, and I've been craving for that day to come, and today is the day. And here's a middle class Japanese bike, and this is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So with all the experience I have with the leader bikes and the big bikes, and all the experience I have with the small bikes, how does this compare, and is it lacking power, or is it perfect for the street? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to test it on a track. Maybe one day Mike is going to lend it to me for the track, but I can test it out for you on the road and let you know how a 600 class bike performs on the street, and if it's a good thing to buy or not, or you should just stick to buying a leader bike or whatnot. But anyways, that's today's video. Join me for the ride. Oh yes. Oh my goodness, the first thing I want to talk about with this bike is that glorious F1 sound. Most bikes I've ridden, except for the V4R, the V4S variants, which go up all the way up to 15,000 RPM. You got that Ducati grumble. I've mostly ridden Ducatis on this channel. In the world of 600, there are two motorcycles that mostly people buy when they're looking for sport bikes, and that's either the ZX6R that I'm riding right now, or the R6. In terms of riding a 600 class Japanese bike, man, one thing that I love about these bikes is the fact that they sound freaking phenomenal, man. There's nothing like going all the way up to 16,000 RPM and hearing that engine scream. The bike that I'm riding right now is equipped with quick shift, and boy is it seamless, butter smooth. My main reason for getting a Japanese bike is the sound. Oh, it is magnificent. Magnificent. Level 10. Amazing. If you're a big fan of F1 like I am, you gotta have one of these bikes, because it sounds like an F1 car. Not even joking you. And this is a Yoshi pipe that's installed on it, just in case you wanted to know. Very curious to know if I can make this sound even more F1 like with a different pipe like an Acura. So if you guys know something that can make it even louder and more F1, comment down in the description section, because if I ever buy this bike, I'm gonna go straight pipe on this mother effer, make it sound as F1 and as loud as I can. But 600 class bikes are just the bomb, man. Always wanted to get my hands on one, finally did. The bike handles phenomenal. It is so flickable. Coming from these big, gigantic 1000cc motorcycles onto something like this is just a welcome relief, I'll tell you that right now. So easily flickable, it feels light as hell. Like, I understand it's the same weight as my Ducati Panigale, which has 300 plus cc more, but I don't know how the 600 class does it, but it feels very light. It feels lighter than my 959. On idle between 1 and 2,000 RPM, it's got this brrrr sound. It's just constant. The sound doesn't go up and down like my Panigale does. It's just a constant brrrr. Oh man, it kind of gives you a reminder of what it's going to sound like if it screams. I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I'm ruined. So the big question is, does it have enough power for the street? Man, let me tell you, coming from the big leader bikes and even the in-between stuff like the 300-400 class bikes, I think they serve a purpose, and I think the 600 class bikes serve a purpose all on its own. It is, to me, in my opinion, from someone who's got a 959 that is 155 horsepower, it's not a middle class bike. It's I would consider that a super bike. And then I also have the F900R, which is considered to be a middle class bike, and that bike is 100 horsepower. So this being 125, 130 horsepower kind of sits in the middle of both of them, and it is no slouch by any frickin' means, man. It's got tons of power. It's very usable for the street. The dog likes the bike. Oh man, one of my favorite spots. You might have seen this location many times. I love coming over here. It is a gorgeous area, perfect for a motorcycle photo shoot. Roll it. So having ridden this bike for the first time, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be powerful. I didn't know if it was going to have enough horsepower. I didn't know if I was going to be disappointed or not. But honestly, I'm not disappointed at all because the power is so usable in this bike. First, second gear, even third gear, I'm pretty much wide open throttle on this thing, and it's not that intimidating for me. I guess if this is your first bike, or one of your first bikes, you might be intimidated. Oh man, that sounds so glorious even at 3,000 RPM. The next thing I want to talk about is the everyday usability of it. I already know, you already know that I have a usability video, like a daily rider video. That was my previous video, but that's one of the things about a 600 class bike. And on a bike like this that has 4.5 gallon fuel tank, you can ride this bike in second and third gear, I think at low RPMs and at low speeds, and it doesn't get bothered. But we're going to try it out on the road to see what it's like once we start moving. Alright, so right now, doing 16 miles an hour in second gear, and it is not bothered at all, man. Let me see if I can put it in third gear. Nope, not bothered at all. If this was my Panigale, it would choke and die right now. Let's see, fourth gear. Holy shit, fourth gear. Still going. It does not care. 24 miles an hour, fourth gear. Wow. Oh, man. Fifth gear, 27 miles an hour. Wow. My 959 would have stalled out already, and I would have been like on the middle of the road trying to get it back up. Sixth gear, 29 miles an hour. Oh my god, I am astonished. Wow. Alright, now it gave me some issues. I'm doing 16, 17 miles an hour, so it'll do 20 miles an hour easily in sixth gear. Perfect for the road, man. Perfect for everyday use. Amazing, man, amazing. Meanwhile, this thing screams to the top of its lungs at 16,000 RPM. Truly amazing, man. More reason to get a 600 class bike. On to the highway we go. Let's see if we can get her hot and bothered and scream a little bit. The front wiggled a little bit. I think the front wheel just got up a little bit. Who says 600 class bikes don't wheelie? Third gear doing 10,000 miles an hour. Third gear doing 10,000 RPM. And I'm only doing 73 miles an hour, and boy, it sounds like a freaking F1 car. A lot of power. A lot of power, even though I go wide open throttle in third gear. In terms of power, it is not lacking at all for a 600 class bike. Once again, coming from leader bikes, I can honestly say that this is a ton of fun. And it's usable power for the street that I can use all the time. Listen to these rev match downshifts. Woo! Oh, I can't get enough. Woo! Oh man. Alright, let's stop over here and enjoy the scenery. Oh man, I don't think I've ever brought you guys here before. Alright my dudes, we are at the end of this episode. And as far as the 600 class bike is concerned, to me, I think they're perfect for the street. I've proved that it can go 20 miles an hour in 6th gear and not choke and die in the middle of the street. And I proved that it sounds freaking phenomenal. The Yamaha and the Kawasaki's and basically Japanese bikes, they scream, man. 16,000 RPM. That's like an F1 car, man. And I love the sound of an F1 car. And buying this bike just alone for the sound, it's just, I think for me it makes it all worth it. And this Yoshi pipe sounds amazing, but it gets my seal of approval for 600 class bikes. And coming from leader bike classes, I am not disappointed at all, not even one bit, man. It's a very comfortable bike and it's easily tossable. I approve of it, and if you're looking for something like this, I couldn't recommend anything better than this. Once again, I have not tried out the Yamaha R6, so that's another bike that is similar to this, and I haven't tried it out yet, but that's a leading contender. Alright guys, I will see you in the next episode. If you haven't checked out the previous episodes, just make sure to check those out. If you like this video, why wouldn't you like it and subscribe to the channel? I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.